Hi everyone, Lisa here from LC Designs. Welcome to Workshop Wednesday, 9/21/22. Today we're going to be making a Halloween gift box, and I tried not to go like scary, so it's Halloween themed, but with flowers. The project sheet posted, so you can go ahead and download that and get all the measurements for it. And a reminder to share my video. When you share my video, you'll be entered to win the materials to make the projects that I make today. So last week's winner of the gift bag is Melanie Foy. Thank you for sharing my video. I'm going to send you the materials to make 2 of these bags. You know, like I said last week, there's a bunch of goodies in here. It holds quite a bit. So thank you for sharing my video, Melanie. I will get that out to you this week. Wendy had gotten hers from last week, and I have an ordering special right now. As you know, every month, me and 7 other demonstrators have a tutorial, and we usually pick a theme, and we create projects under that theme. And when you spend $35 in my store, you can get the tutorial for free. Next month, I'm excited. We added a new member, Christy Hillock. She's out of Utah. And so now there will be 9 of us. Yes, 9 in the tutorial. So you'll be able to get 9 different projects. So that's always an ordering special I have every month. And then this month, let me unhook it here, is I made this fall banner. So it's kind of hard to see. It says fall. And I'll send you all the materials to make this banner when you spend $50 in my online store. So if you spend $50, you'll get this, all the materials to make this banner. You can see it has the gems in it, the amber gems. And I used a lot of different stamp sets. So you'll not only get the tutorial, you'll also get the materials to make the banner. So if you want to order it, if you spend $50, you'll get this banner. Let me move that aside. All right, so I guess that's it on the business. Now let me try and turn you guys around. Not too bad. But it's a little bit better transition than me flipping it around all over. So again, the project sheet has posted, so you could go ahead and get the project sheet, and it always has all the measurements and all the items that I used with the numbers. That way it helps you order easier. All right, so let's get started. We're gonna make this box. Like I said, it's Halloween colors and everything, but it's not spooky. I didn't put anything spooky on it. And it's a heavy duty box, and you can put a lot of goodies in it. So we're gonna start out with some, let's do the bottom first. And we're gonna need to cut that at 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. Okay, so 8 1/8. I need to change my blade. I've been doing so much cutting because of all the craft fair projects I'm making. Okay, so here's our 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. And we're gonna go ahead and cut the gorgeous grape, which will be 8 by 8. 8 by 8. Yeah, my blade is like really, I made like 25 little treat things yesterday with that hold Rice Krispie treats, the little mini Rice Krispie treats. So let's go ahead and cut the designer series paper too, since I have the trimmer out. And I'm using the black and white designs DSP. I think this will probably be enough, this sheet. But this pack is all just black and white papers. You can see they have a lot of different designs. I chose to go with this one. So for the top of our box, we're going to need 3 3/8. So 1, 2, 3. That's the second two lines prior to the half, if that makes sense. So 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. That's our top. And then now we're going to need the sides. It's 3 3/8, so we already have that by 1 inch. So we're going to need 4 of those for each side. 1, 2. Oops, get the scoring out of there. 3 and 4. So who all is ready for fall? I sure am. We are still pretty hot out here. I think we're 80 something again today. But I don't know. We're still warm. I'm so ready for fall. Okay, so that should be all of our pieces. Oh, there's one other piece that we need. Where did I do it's actually, this will probably work. This is what I cut off of the gorgeous grape. It's just 1/4 by 3 3/8. This is a half, but this will still work. So let's just cut 3 3/8 real quick, since we need that. Okay, now I think that should do it. So let's get on with the box. Bottom. Get my score. I want to make sure that I'm in the camera. So we're going to score all sides at 1/2 inch and 2 3/8. So there goes a 1/2, and then 2 3/8, 1/2, 2 3/8. 1/2 and 2 3/8, and 1/2 and 2 3/8. And so see this extra, that's going to give us a little bit more the heaviness, so it makes it a stronger box. I'm going to go ahead and do the top as well, since I have the scorer out. And we're going to score this at 1 1/8 on all 4 sides, and 2 1/4. So 2 1/4. 1 1/8, 2 1/4. 1 1/8, 2 1/4. 1 1/8, and 2 1/4. All right, so let me get this out of the way, and we can start to burnish all these score lines. I have a sample so you could see how I'm going to cut this, because there's a lot of cutting out to do. But I wanted you to be able to see it. How many of you create the projects along with me? Should I tape this down so it stops moving? I think I will, because we're going to need it in a bit so that it's, I'm going to be coloring the ribbon. I think I had told you last week that I was going to color that glittered ribbon in that we used. Okay, so this is the top. So this is what it's going to look like once we cut. So I'll leave that there so that you can see it. And I will start cutting out. So basically we're going to cut all these out. my poor scissors, they need to be clean too. So you can cut. All four corners, so we're just keeping this one tab. So however you want to cut them out. My scissors, I think I have a bunch of glue on them. Like I said, I've been doing so many projects. This will be my first craft fair in this area. So I'm interested to see how many people are interested in Stampin' Up or my little projects that I've created. Okay. And then we're going to go around and angle all of them once I get it done. Okay, so see, so now we'll just cut these up and angle and angle. I feel like there's so much glue on my scissors. I'm actually gonna order me some more snips. I like these little scissors. I wish they made a big pair because I'm not too fond of the longer blades that I have on my other ones. They're not like the sharpest scissors. Anybody have recommendations? Stampin' Up used to have a longer pair, and I guess it wasn't very popular. All right, hi Denise, hi Wendy. Oh, you usually create them after you see me put them together. That's good, as long as you're putting them together. So, oh, I forgot to angle these. I need to look at my own sample just to see. And this is just so it's not so bulky, but it's going to be a sturdy box, like I said. This one, this one, this one, and this one. So I also added my tear and tape so you can see where I put it. So I'll leave that there and I'll add my tear and tape to mine. Creating all these craft fair projects, I've had so much glue on my hands, so much glitter on my hands, but it's been fun. I made like 30 something hand sanitizer boxes. I'll post some pictures later. I was gonna say, because right now they're in the other room. So we'll flip this over and then we're just gonna put a piece on each tab. And I usually just put mine diagonal. Yeah, it's just gonna be very interesting to see who all's interested. Like I said, you know, I don't know how many, there's a lot of paper crafters out there. I'm just not sure in this area. Okay, so should I leave the sample here for you guys to see? That way, will I put this one together? So we're gonna stick our tabs in. Of course, this one, I was gonna tuck that in, but now it's stuck to the paper. See, this is why my scissors have so much adhesive on them. I should have cleaned them. And it's not like it's the only pair I have either. But I thought this box was really pretty. If you don't want to make Halloween, you can use this box for something else. Just change out the colors. That's what's always the nice thing is, you know, my projects, use them for whatever stamp set you have. It would be nice if you ordered the stamp set that I had, but just use what you have. Okay, so see, now this is where our box is going to get heavy because we have these flaps to go in to make it strong. I'll That's nice, Wendy. I hope I convert. You know, our Stampin' Up year is coming to an end. And so I have set some goals for myself this year because I really miss having the team meetings. Currently, I just meet with my team members through Zoom. But I like to have more in-person meetings and stuff. So my goal is to add some more team members so that I can have that. And I have a bunch of clubs. Well, not a bunch, but I have some clubs that I'm coming out with. And so look, there's our box, and it's nice and sturdy. So I'll move this aside, and then now we'll do the bottom. And basically it's kind of cut the same way. I made another sample so that you can see, but we're gonna cut out a lot of stuff here. We're gonna cut, I didn't burnish these lines. You know, sometimes on black, it's hard to see the lines. That's kind of a good thing I made the sample, because then I help myself trying to remember. It's funny, these treat boxes that I had made for the Rice Krispie treats, you know, trying to get all the dimensions. Every time I create my dimensions and I recreate, and I don't know, have to redo them quite a few times. That's why I always do them on, I do them on copy paper first so that I could see how it's going to come out. So we're kind of going to cut these same ones, cut these all out. See, and here's where I would like to have a longer bladed scissors. Oops. And I need that, but that's okay because that's going to get angled. We'll snip that off right now. Now this is where I'd like to have some better ones. Mine aren't, like I said, are not the greatest. So we're just leaving all those little flaps again to make our box a little stronger. Cut that one off, cut this one off. So Wendy, I heard you guys went from hot, hot, hot to getting rain over there. I'm sure the rain was much needed, but of course not all at once. This Mother Nature is not very nice these days. I'm trying to talk and cut at the same time without messing myself up. Okay, so now we're going to cut these lines up. And we can angle them. We have some flash flooding warnings going on here. I'm not sure. These we're going to cut down too, and you can just eyeball it. But yeah, I'm not sure how long these. You know, we get these flash flood warnings, but then we don't get no rain. Last week we went out to dinner with my family, and it was pouring down rain all the way home, and then we get to our house and there's not a drop of rain. So we would like some rain over here. Not all at once, but we would like some rain. I feel like my, I cut these all different. That is so funny. So don't do what I did. Technically, see this one I cut here, and this one I cut here. So this one, it should have been cut here, and then I did the same on this side. It'll still work, just don't do what I did. Cut the same way, but see, I tell you, I was talking and then not paying attention. So see how these are cut the same on the same side? Mine's all lopsided, but it'll work. It'll work. It'll definitely work. It's just, I did my own thing. So let's add some tear and tape to all these tabs again. And I'm so silly. I should have. And then flip it over, and we're going to do the same. Oops, I got a piece stuck to me. Oops. And I should use my sample because it looks better. But it'll work. I'll show you that it'll work. In case you do make the same mistake as I do, you can see it'll work. My craft fair is this weekend. That's on Saturday. I think it's from 9 to 3. And then I actually just signed up for another one that's like October 15th or so. So see, our corners are just going to be different. This one's going to go here. This one's going to go here. This one's going to go here. And this will go here. So see, it still works. It's, who knows, it might even be better. So we can, you can see, because I didn't do it right. They're just not both on the same side. So let's just fold all these over. Again, yeah, I just signed up for another craft fair, and I think it's October 15th. So it's kind of like almost back to back. It'll give me a good idea of what'll sell this weekend. And then, you know, so what more do I need to make? And, you know, what could I add? Okay, so there's our box, and here's our lid. And like I said, this is a nice sturdy box. So I'll move my sample out of the way. Even though I did it wrong, it still worked. So let's go ahead and add our pieces of designer series paper. I don't know why this this pattern reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. I don't know. Was there diamond, something diamond in there? Because for whatever reason, it reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. So we're just gonna put that one right on there. And then you can try and match up your sides. And we'll put this one here. I'm not sure if all the sides are gonna match up, but at least maybe your front one. And then this with this, no. Yeah, see, I don't think they're gonna match up because the way that I cut the paper. So nobody will really notice the sides because of the pretty decorations on the front. Any suggestions on what top sellers are at craft fairs? Like, do you go to craft fairs? I used to go to them all the time when I was younger with my mom, way back in the day. Okay, so there's our box. Actually, look, this side and this side match up. Sort of. All right, so why did I take that off? Why did I put that on? So now this little piece that we cut, we're gonna put that right across the center. I just wanted to add some more color on here. So we'll just put it right across the center like that. Okay, so let's move that aside because now we need our pumpkin pie piece that is 2 3/8 by 2 7/8. 2 7/8 is just before the 3, and 2 3/8 is just before the half. That piece seems small, but nope, it'll work. And then so we need the same for the black. So 2 3/8 by 2 2 7/8. And then I'm gonna add an adhesive sheet to the pumpkin pie piece. So I'm gonna cut that. I like to cut my sheets the same size as my cardstock. So 2 3/8 by 2 7/8. It just makes it easier. That's why I have a bunch of scrap adhesive sheets in here. Okay, and then that's gonna make it a lot easier to, oops, see, my sheets, some of them, you pull this piece off and it's got the sticky on it. And other times you pull it off and the sticky's on the other side. That's not the greatest, but it'll work again. Like I said, it's going to be easier to adhere to the black piece. Okay. So we're only die cutting this piece, our flowers. Oh my goodness, I did it totally the wrong way. So you know, I needed the adhesive sheet on the black. Again, not paying attention. So let me cut another black. It was what, 2 3/8 by 2 7/8. Where's my adhesive sheet? 2 3/8 by 2 7/8. Okay. I guess a workshop Wednesday wouldn't be a workshop Wednesday unless I messed up, right? Okay, so now let's try this again. It goes on the black, because the black is the outline. The pumpkin pie is the background. Okay, so now let's bring our cut and emboss machine back in here. Get the right die and on the right color. And I'm going to have to cut another piece of pumpkin pie because then I can save that one with the adhesive sheet for something else. Okay. So since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and cut this tag. We're going to need that. I got stuff stuck all over. We're going to need this tag. And we are going to need some vellum and some black stems. So let's cut these out. I think I used 2 of each. My goodness. I tell you, leave it to me to make a mistake. All right, and then I'll get the vellum. Probably need to get a lot of these scraps off my work area so I can work. All of this. Okay, vellum. We're gonna use a couple of these here as well. Because all my scraps are sticking to my cutting plates. Okay, let's flip this over. You know you're supposed to rotate your plates. I don't do it as often as I should, but it's supposed to keep them from getting so bent, warped. Okay, so I think that's the end of the die cutting. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, I have so much trash here. I think I need an assistant to keep me on my toes. As you guys seen Brian pop in the other day, should he be my assistant? That was so funny. It was funny, but it was not funny. Okay, so what we gotta get, maybe if I pull all of these off, it'll take all those little pieces out. There's still some in there. These are all little pieces. Getting all these little pieces out. Okay, so now I need to cut another piece of pumpkin pie since I messed up on my colors. So it was 2 3/8 by 2 7/8. At least I remembered that. And then the thing is we're gonna cut it all out, so. I like to make things difficult, don't I? Okay, so now we are just gonna cut around so you can see what I did here. And we're just gonna cut around this because I really only wanted the outline of the flower. I didn't want the big old bulky square. And you guys know there's no right or wrong way. Just cut however you want. Nobody's gonna know that this was hand cut. They might even think it was die cut. But me and all my fussy cutting. That's why I love how they came out with the more dies with the perfect partners bundles. I love the little piggies. I have an aunt who collects pigs. So I've been making her cards and just sending them to her, just thinking of her. All right, my cutting is a little sloppy here, but there we go. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna, all these other little pieces that we have, we're just gonna stick these on with glue dots. I always like all these little holes, all these little pieces to be out. I do have the brush, but I'm over here using my take your pick tool. So we just use some glue dots and we're just gonna layer them on. And can you see the glue dots? And then we're gonna layer the vellum. The vellum just adds a little bit more. Actually, I think I only added 1 vellum, but I cut 2, so we'll use 2. And I didn't poke out these little holes. There's actually only a couple on this one. But I don't use vellum often enough, but I like the way that it just gives that little extra to your projects. So we're gonna just, let's try and tuck this one under here. There. Okay, so now with some dimensionals, now we can add our flower cutout. And this is why I've had so much sticky on me. So just place it like around the corner. And then now I'm gonna move that aside because we're gonna color our ribbon. I can't remember how much ribbon I had, but I love this glittered ribbon. I don't know about you guys, because I love it. All right, Wendy, you take care. Thanks for joining, and don't work so hard. So maybe let's put it around the box. But I love this glittered ribbon. And then to be able to color it, it just makes things got sticky all over me. Let's just kind of get an idea how much I'm going to need, and then I'll color it. Okay, so I'm going to grab a little bit more. Oops. All right. I love any white ribbon that you can color. So since we don't have a Gorgeous Grape is the color that I use, but we don't have a Gorgeous Grape blend, I'm using Highland Heather, the dark. Oh, I just splashed it all over. And so all you have to do is just rub it or brush it on. I'm using the brushed end. And you want to make it as dark as you can. What I did, I colored one side, then flipped it over, and then did the other. Because you know with Stampin' Blends, the more times you go over it, the more color it adds. So again, this is the dark Highland Heather. And I don't know why mine is so juicy. So every time I open it, it splatters all over. So in case you see purple dots all over my workspace, that's what it is. You'll know that I used my Highland Heather blend. And I think, let's go over this other side. And you can see it's getting darker because I'm adding more color. Try to speed this up. So you can color any Stampin' Blend color you have. That's what color you can make your ribbon. All right, I think that's good. So now we can tie our bow. What is your guys' favorite Stampin' Up color? You know, my favorite color is green or like teals, but you know, we have the Tahitian Tide, which I love, but I have not created that many projects with it. I was just noticing that when I was pulling out my cardstock for these projects. I was like, you know, I have not used that Tahitian Tide, but yet it's one of my favorite colors. All right, so there's our bow. And just play with it to make it as tight as you want it and fluffy. And so then now here's our little tag that we had already cut out. And I'm going to use, this is the only stamps that I'm using from the Scary Cute is the to and from. That's it. I know I've been using the stamps every week, but today that's the only one. We'll just stamp that on there. Oh, I messed that up. I stamped it too hard and I knew it because I pressed on it. But I will definitely change this label out. And we're going to use the black baker's twine and just tie it around the bow. Like I said, I'll change this tag out after. And then remember the trick I showed you last week? I should be using that right now. I do have it. Where you use the flosser threader to thread your ribbons and twines. And here's our bow. Just tie it in a bow. And now you have two bows on your project. Okay, I'm going to be redoing this anyway, but I want to give you guys the idea of what it looks like. And so there's your project. You can fill it up with whatever you want. There's both of them. Here's the one done the right way. So I hope you guys like this project. I want to see your guys' creation, even if you use a different paper or whatever. Just let